Welcome everybody to our new look format for the Vodcast for the new season. This is me and Nathan. We're just trying out a few things to show you what we're going to be doing this season. Thanks for joining me, Nathan.
Anytime.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing this time is just a shorter version for about 15 minutes, just to speak on a few things and to give you guys just a taste of what we want to do. You can see down the bottom there's empty space. We're hoping to add a few guests that are going to slot into there as well and talk about various things. We're going to extend the scope this time beyond that of the league. So I thought that I would start with Nathan's pet, which is the Super League. Nathan, can you tell us a bit about that and how it went?
So we did the one that's just has been the modern players group Super League, and yeah, it was a really big success. We ended up having 30, I think it was 10 teams of 3, so 30 people ended up playing, which was considerably more than when we did the Super League for standard just before, or in the last break between the player league seasons. And yeah, 30 people ended up playing. It went over, I think it was 9 weeks. Yeah, it's just a crazy amount of bookwork on my behalf, but yeah.
And the thing to highlight here as well is that of those 30 people actually finished as well, which was quite amazing.
That was something I was really impressed with the fact that nobody dropped out. We ended up having some scheduling issues going into the end of it, but I want to try and fix the scheduling problems with with the time zone issues. So if we get more people, like to have an American league and have a European league, ideally would be the best way to fix that. But it's just getting the numbers to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's something we'll have to look at in the off season. Just on screen at the moment, we're looking at the ladder. Is the final product the ladder? Is that how you expected it to play out? Like there's 1 point difference between first and second, and then 4 points back to third.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that tight going into the end of it. So if you looked at it at the because I did the breakdowns of, I ended up doing stats every week in terms of wins, losses, game win percentages, and that was all that separated people, deferring from the way it's normally done in the player league, how you get 4 points for a win and 2 points for a whatever. I actually went by the match wins that you got, because you could only ever get 3 match wins, and that was 4 points. So there was always going to be someone on top. And then the way to determine if it was an equal scores, you have a look at the ladder board there, or the leaderboard there, and it's Team Manaburn and Team Fresh Beats. Both are on 18, but their game win percentage is what decided who sat on top of that spot.
I think that's a pretty cool stat to include there as well, to separate the two. You can see it in between 5 and 6, the Team Dark Horse and Team Name, both of 17, but a huge percent, 6% difference, or 5.5% between the two.
Yeah, so, there was one point through the league where there was like 5 teams that are in the top 5 spots, and there was only like 3 points between 5th and 1st, and it was just percentage for most of it.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I'm in Team League mod, so I was keeping a close eye on the ladder. I think that was only with about 2 weeks to go. It was a logjam at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So just, you mentioned the 3 match wins, so that means over 9 rounds, the perfect score would be 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at, if we cast our eye down the bottom of the ladder, then Team Infect with 8 points.
Yeah, they didn't have a really good season this year, which is really disappointing, because it was really disappointing because going into the league, I was like, oh, these guys know what it's about, because that exact team come out of the standard Super League, so they know what it's all about in terms of like the picks and bans and all that stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, they might have a bit of an advantage. And then they went with a combo strat, like all of their decks, I think, were basically just combo decks. And they're like, okay, so we submit five lists, and they can only ban one of them. So that means we're going to have 4 combo decks, and we're just going to do really well. Yeah. And then it just turned out that everyone had answers, so they didn't end up winning the games that they thought they were going to win. So it's a failed strategy, but hey, at least they tried.
I suppose in their defence as well, that they might have been trying to just have fun rather than actually going for the wins.
Well, they were playing two different kinds of as foretold. No, not as foretold. Living end decks. There was an as foretold living end and a Jund living end deck.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
As foretold, I'm sort of playing around with that in modern at the moment as well. I think there's some potential there. When I get some decent time, I'm going to have a shot at it. So, just to finish up then on the Super League, what can we expect for the next season? Like, what's going to be different, or what's something out of the blue that we might see?
I still want to try and nut it out with try and get more player feedback from the people that actually played in it, and try and nut out what issues people might have with how it was, like if there was issues with how it was run, or whether or not time zones is just the issue. Because as far as I know, time zones is just the biggest thing.
Yeah,
but
I think
that'll probably be the.
You've got the sub rule there. I think there's something there, like something to play around with the sub rule that can possibly fix this time zone issue. I probably need to give it a lot more thought, but it could be something like having 2 Americans and 1 European on each team, or something like that to cater for it, and then to have like a free sub or something, so that if it's a European, they can sub in the European to make up that time zone difference at the start.
Yeah,
but they're still going to run into the problem eventually of a European versus American, so that's going to cause the issue as well.
Yeah, the sub rule was pretty confusing for a lot of the people as well. So next time I'll go back over how I wrote it out, and I'll write it out very, very clearly, and then hopefully everyone will actually read it.
Yeah, and I one thing I forgot to put in feedback, actually, I think you should utilize the website where we put the ex-Major League stuff, have a separate part for the Super League, and copy and paste everything there as well. So, all the deck lists and standings and things like that. Because I know for our team personally, we were kind of scrambling every weekend to try and find, where's that file again, and scroll back through the Facebook group.
I had a private chat, a private message going in Facebook with every team, and every single thing went to every single person via that chat. So if you were scrambling to look for it, all you had to do was scroll up in the chat. You would have found it.
Yeah. Well, I suspect. You've flagged that you're interested in other moderators. I suspect your workload is going to go up for the next season. Particularly after
if it grows in popularity, I'll probably need a helper or two. Would be good.
Yep. Well, anyway, on behalf of the group, thanks very much for running that.
No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to move along now and talk about something that's coming up for the group, and that is the John Avon print raffle. I got in trouble for calling it an auction. It's a raffle.
You're not selling them off.
Yeah, it's not an auction, it's a raffle. Thanks to Felix Denitzer for getting these. He went to GP Prague, where John Avon was going to be, and got them the 5 prints. He was away when I was trying to get the idea of how big they are. He's told me that they're slightly smaller than a playmat, to give you an idea of size. And all of them are signed by John Avon as well. There's a list, you can find it. If you click on our Facebook group, click events, it lists all 5 of the prints.
And they look freaking wicked.
Yeah, the prints are. I remember years ago at DP Melbourne, Ryan Yee was there, and I got him to sign my. I bought a print of Dig Through Time, which is one of my all-time favorite cards, and and since then it's like I'm very particular with prints. I don't just get them willy-nilly, but if there's a really, really nice one, I like to get one signed by the artist. And we should probably mention as well how you get entries into this to win this particular thing. Can you go over that a little bit?
So to get entries into any of the raffles, all you have to do is participate in the league, or in a league, or in any event that is held by the group. So we do limited cups, we do Like we've done Brewers competitions, we've done like we're looking at doing Friday nights, and that's going to be prize support either by the group or usually it's in the form of raffle tickets. Just participating in an event that's held by the group will get you raffle tickets, but the higher up in it you are, like if you're usually first, second, and if there's enough players, third place might end up getting however many more than just for participating. So
Yeah, so what
there's a lot of ways to do it.
Yeah, I think off memory this raffle was on 27th September, so we're going to try and put a couple more things to get entries before then. We're going to try for an event. Like all of our events, we decided some time ago was that they need a minimum of 8 people before we can start giving out actual prizes to winners. So we're going to try and bribe people. I'm going to offer it like just a $10 voucher. It's we're not a super wealthy group, but it's just a test the water to see if it gets any extra response compared to not offering that to the events. And the other thing, we were talking about Super League. Everybody that completed the Super League also got 2 entries into the draw as well. And I have to double check for the previous X Major League. I think they got the entries into the last raffle, but I'll double check that. And of course, all of our Patreons get their regular entries plus their multipliers. So the way we're going to do this is the first draw is going to be for the Patreons only, and then the next 4 will be open for everybody. And I said you've got, I think it's 48 hours to let me know, so I'll ask everybody, please give me, say, your top 3 in order of preference so that we can start getting them organised and sent out, because they're actually located in Felix in Austria. So if a lot of the winners are from the US, then he's going to send them to me and I'm going to distribute them out. So it will take a little bit of time. Okay, moving along.
An absolute fortune in postage.
Yeah. Especially, ironically, this time if it's a European that wins, it's going to cost us less money. So we'll be barracking for the Europeans this time. If it's Americans, we'll wait and see. Okay, just to finish up, one thing we just thought we'd try out is look at a card, or we're going to look at cards, deck lists, and so on, and just go over them a bit. We're shifting the focus of this away purely from the league to be more covering more things to do with the group. And so we thought this week we'll pick a card. It's put in everybody's pocket. You can see it on the screen. It's Assassin's Trophy. Black-green, destroy target permanent. And then the controller searches for a land. So Golgari, so it's Abzan and John primarily that are getting the upgrade. What do you think of this card, Nathan?
This card is insane. Absolutely insane. It's like Path to Exile and Abrupt Decay had a baby, and that baby had a shit, and this shit is called Assassin's Trophy. It's just, it's a super push card. A lot of people are saying that it's not as good as Abrupt Decay, but I feel like I'd take destroying any permanent over I Can't Be Counted any day. But it's just, I don't know. I can't believe they're doing stuff like this in Standard again. It's gonna be good to see, because it's an instant modern staple. Like you'd be running this alongside Abrupt Decay, because in control matchups, obviously you want Abrupt Decay. But Assassin's Trophy is just going to fit anywhere else. It's probably a main board option. It's anything that wants to be running it that hasn't got Path is probably going to run this.
Yeah, it's a curious one for me, because obviously it's going to slot into a number of decks, like Gun is a good example. I think we discussed previously, does it make Sultai viable? I had a bit more of a think about this, and I don't think it does. Because my initial thought was snapping it back with Snapcaster Mage, particularly because it can hit lands and so on, but I don't think that's a good enough reason to go into Gun, because into Sultai, sorry, because when you look at the colours, obviously the green splash is there for Tarmogoyf, the blue splash is for Snapcaster. So when we're talking green-black, we're looking at a third colour. So Abzan is obviously for Lingering Souls. Jund is for Lightning Bolt. Sultai for Snapcaster. I think in Modern with Snapcaster you want to be doing damage snapping. Otherwise, if you're snapping back removal spells, then you could be in, say, Esper colours and give yourself Lingering Souls as well. So I'm really curious to see. I think it's a bit overhyped. It's pre-ordering at I think $32 at the moment, but I don't think it'll stay there.
You could be running it in a Sultai like control deck. It could just be really heavy on removal, and then you have snapcasters in there specifically to just double up on your removal.
Yeah, but the problem with Sultai is, like, what, you ask, why are you playing Sultai and not playing, say, Gun or Esper, if that's the case? Because Esper obviously doesn't have access to Assassin's Trophy, but it has access to Pathway Exile and Lingering Souls. So it's going to be Assassin's Trophy versus those two cards in that one. And Gun has access to Lightning Bolt. So then it becomes Lightning Bolt against Snapcaster Mage. And when Snapcaster, like we see in the current environment, Esper is not played in Modern simply because Snapcaster doesn't have any direct damage spell to flash back. But yeah, it's going to be really curious. There's a GP I'm possibly attending. I have to wait and see at the end of October at DP New Jersey, which is standard. I think Mono Green Stompy is big and standard at the moment, and I think we'll probably see a lot of those decks also splashing black and just jamming 4 of these as well.
But yeah, it's going to be a cool card, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see people try and break it.
Yeah, I think for us, we'll see on about what's the date today? The date's the 12th. 2 more weeks. It's probably up on X Mage, and people will start brewing and see what they come up with.
Is it only 2 weeks away?
They usually release the upload for X Mage about a week before it's proper release, don't they? Like around the pre-release time.
No, cool.
Okay, we're running out of time now, so for those watching, you can see below both Nathan and myself, there's empty spaces. We hope to fill those with people so we can have 3 or 4 people at the same time. So if you've got Discord, a webcam, and a mic, please, we'll love for you to jump in and join us for a future episode. Thanks for joining me, Nathan.
No worries. Anytime.
All right, I'll catch you later.